Thanks for tuning in again. This session, this is episode 6 out of 14. We're going to talk about the 1966, 67, and 68 Dynapowers. They're the most affordable of all of them, and they are not always, but usually they're low bounce, and not always, but usually they're heavy. So probably they'd be a good building block for you. Your purchase strategy would be to buy one of these, hope that it turns out to be heavy, hope that it turns out to be low bounce. There's no guarantee because I own 10 of these, and there's a bit of variation across them, with typically 1 out of the 5 being pretty aberrant. But 4 out of 5 in each of the years are heavy. 4 out of 5 in each of the years have low bounce, which is half of what you're after. So, and as I mentioned, they're cheap, and you can kind of take a flyer on them if you happen to get the high bounce, and the light one, just chalk it up to experience, resell it, whatever, and move on. But odds are pretty good that if you purchase one of these, and again, they're among the most affordable, probably the most affordable of all of them in the 20-year period, odds pretty good you're going to get half of what you need for your 2-wedge setup in your bag. First, I'll just show you the 66. I call it the double stripe. It's got a sandblasted double stripe on the back pad. There you can see it. Between the crest and the words Wilson Staff. Got a heavy, wide sole, this particular one, and it's got the loving cups on either side of the grooves. A very nice wedge. Just looking at it here, we can see that it's really a low bounce wedge, and so it would be heavy, it would be low bounce, and probably do half of what you want. To be precise, I measured the swing weight of the 5 I own, D9, E4, E5, 2 of them, and then we've got this weird C8 thrown in, and again they're a mix of higher and lower bounce. 4 of them are low bounce, and then 1 is a high bounce. So they're, little, I don't know why there was the variation in these years. You don't usually see that in my experience. Now, here is the 67, 68, and again there is a sandblasted stripe. This is the single stripe through the crest, and there you can see the single stripe. That's a 67, 68. Very much like in shape and weight the 66, and wide sole, heavy, although again there's a bit of variation among the 5 that I own. We've got swing weights of C8, too light, D9, E2, 2 of them, and E8, very heavy, mix of high bounce, 1 low bounce, 4, just like the 1966, and so it's very much kind of the same proposition as you're on your search for a heavy low bounce one. Your odds are pretty good of getting one, but you're not guaranteed. But they are cheap. That's the good thing. So if you end up getting the C8, say, which is too light, won't help you. You just move on, maybe resell it, move on, take a shot again, and most likely you'll get a heavy one. I want to mention one thing about the shafts on the 67, 68s. In 68 they had aluminum shafts. That was kind of the thing then for a while. The major manufacturers were doing aluminum. McGregor was doing aluminum. But the problem with aluminum, I had aluminum. The first set of these that I ever bought on my 16th birthday were aluminum, and they felt very nice, played very nice, had a lot of distance, but the The problem was they tended to bend easily, and so if you maybe played them a lot, you'd end up maybe bending them. If you hit a root, of course, you would bend even a steel shaft if you hit a root, but they'd bend more easily. So you might want to watch out for, when you're shopping on eBay, you might want to watch out for the aluminum shafted ones and maybe steer clear of those. But if you're going to reshaft it anyway, say you're really big on dynamic gold S300s or rifles or whatever, go ahead and buy the aluminum one, because you're going to reshaft it anyway. It's no big deal. So these are years that could well provide for you the low bounce heavy wedge that you need to do the 2-wedge approach that I've mentioned. With that, we'll wrap this one up. I think we're managing to wrap these up more quickly in terms of time, and I look forward to doing the next segment, which will be about the uncommon low bounce 1969. That, as you recall, is the first one I ever acquired off eBay. It was my first eBay Dynapowered sand wedge purchase, made to match my 69 bullet backs, and it kind of got me off on this crazy journey where I acquired all these Dynapower sand wedges. But hey, you're kind of the lucky beneficiary, because you are getting information here you couldn't get anywhere else about swing weight and about bounce. So until next time, I'll sign off. Give us a like or subscribe if you want to make sure you tune into the next one. Thank you very much.